Okay, we are live. Hi, Jojo.
Hey, how's it going?
It's
You're
going.
you're looking good.
Thank you. I'm just getting over, I don't know what it was, a flu bug or something like that.
Yeah, I heard something was
Um,
going around.
it is.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, for
Yeah,
me, I had a really bad head cold about a month ago, and it really
yeah,
took me out like extremely.
yeah.
Um, Now, like my equilibrium's been right off and just, no energy, but I'm starting to feel a little better now.
That's good.
Yes.
That's
Hello,
super.
Cobalt
Very
Tech.
super. Very
Yes,
super.
I did have a guest today, but she seems to be MIA. So,
Oh,
do we have an open?
that's so funny. You want to hear something funny? I thought you said my guest today is Mia.
Oh,
I thought,
yeah.
well, I don't know who that is, but that's okay.
Oh, oh, Cassie was going to come on and do some card readings, but I haven't been able to. I haven't heard back from her yet, so I just messaged her and said that I was going to change it into an open panel. But if she sees it, I'd still like her to come on and do some readings.
All right,
So
that sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah, and
I
we're
got
just
some.
waiting for Sunny to pop in here too.
All right. Well, since we're waiting on
Yeah,
him, can I put a pitch in for my show later today? Is that okay?
absolutely. Yes, you
Thank
can.
you. Thank you
Yeah,
very much. Yeah.
you're welcome very
On
much.
Sundays, I do. Did I hear Sonny? Oh, I thought I heard his voice. He's omnipresent.
Oh,
He's in my head. What can I say?
omnipresent.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing on Sundays at 8 p.m. Central Time, 8 to 10 Central. I do the mystery edition of the JoJo Bone Show, which is where we
Yeah.
deal with various mysteries of all types. It could be paranormal or just strange things, in general. And
You want strange
I think
things? Go to
people will.
Twitter. Go to Twitter to see a lot of crazy shit.
I'll tell
Oh
you,
my god.
it's just Twitter people, and I'm telling you. And I'm
Drama, drama.
kind of excited. It's not here yet, but I got ordered a tube mic preamp for my mic. I'm just using
Oh,
a
nice.
I'm using a nice solid state preamp now. It's not that it's bad. It's just I'm gonna try this out. And if it doesn't suit me, I'll send it back. You know,
My
but
mic is cheap. I think I paid $25 for my mic off of Amazon.
mm-hmm.
Now I'm waiting on a webcam.
Is it a USB mic?
Mhm.
Well, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool.
Yeah.
You
My
don't mind if I
setup
take?
here, my microphone.
Can I take drinks while we talk like
Of
this?
course you can.
Okay.
We can do the sus thing. It's really sus, so you have to take a drink every time.
I tell you what I've taken to is for that's iced tea. So for my iced tea, I've
Hmm.
taken to buying some like high end nice lemonade from the grocery store, like made with real lemons,
Yeah.
and put a little lemonade in my iced
Yeah.
tea. You know what I mean?
Oh, that
That's kind of
sounds good.
my sweetener. Yeah, yeah. I highly recommend it.
That does sound good. Right
Thank
on.
you. Thank
Let me
you.
see where Sonny is. Sonny,
All
he
right.
said he had to turn his. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, I can hear you very well. Yeah.
Okay, because my microphone's not that close to me. I've changed my setup here. My microphone is kind of sitting on its stand, and my laptop bottom is holding it up.
Well, one of
Let's
the
see where
things
Sunny is.
that does make any microphone sound a little more bassy, if you want more bass, you get up close to your microphone like this, right? Hear that? You got
Get
more
right
bass
up
in it
close
now.
like
Oh, Sarah's here. Hello, my flock. Hi, Sarah.
Now, I thought I just heard some loop, like my own voice come back. I'll watch. Maybe I've got something plugged in funky. It's maybe, if you didn't hear it, then
Okay.
it's either my imagination
No,
or,
I didn't hear it.
okay.
It was funny. Last Sunday, I screwed up the intro to the show last Sunday, and I totally screwed up the outro. So I didn't even bother doing an intro today.
Uh-huh.
Oh, not at all.
You know what's really
Sarah says
funny?
she loves me and you.
When something funny happens, you forget things. Like this is an AKG C1000 microphone. It's kind of a classic microphone. It's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew I had two, right? Because a lot of times, if you're doing a recording of like drums, you'll put two over the top your drums, just as a nice field for picking up everything. Not only drums, but that does a real good job on cymbals, right? Well,
Yeah.
looking at my stuff, and I found a third one. I thought, wow, I'm serious. I mean, I'm like, where did that come from? You know, I mean, normally, you know, some things I'm pretty good at keeping track of, you know, but well, there you go. I had one I didn't even know I forgot about. You know, it's like it's kind of a nice feeling. You know, it's like finding a $50 bill in your pocket. You know, and
Yeah,
you go,
that
wow,
would be
where
nice
did that
for me
come
right
from?
about
Yeah.
now. I love your lighting at the back. Those lights look awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I kind of picked that up from instead of using the green screen kind of things.
Yeah.
Whichever once in a while I put one up, I play with it. But I really like it when, you know, people have just had some good lighting in their room. You know, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
my
it's
problem
very
is lighting.
just elemental. Yeah.
Yeah, my problem has always been lighting, but I've got a ring light set up, so, and I've got one light on, so it's not too bad.
No, it looks
Oh,
good. Looks good.
Sunny.
There he is.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
You guys are
how
my
about you?
lifesavers today.
Oh, I'm doing good. I slept
You
for like
know,
12, 13
well,
hours.
I don't know if I'm a lifesaver, but Sunny's a lifesaver for sure.
I don't know what happened to Cassie. I haven't heard back from her.
Uh-oh.
I
Really?
messaged her again, and I said that I'm gonna make it an open panel show, but I'd still, you know, if she sees it, I'd still want her to come on and do some card readings.
Let me,
But I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
what's the agenda for this show? We're just going to talk about whatever
You're looking
happens.
at it. You're looking at it. It's just an open panel, whatever today.
Good. Well, I like
Thank you,
those.
Sarah.
I like those.
Yeah.
yeah, hey, I got to mute for 1 second. Sam, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It's the guy that picked
No
up the
worries.
dog. I have to talk to him.
Okay.
1 second.
All right.
That's okay. We'll hold it down. You know, I'm doing a good job. You know, I'll tell you another funny thing. Deals with equipment. You know, I've had like equipment stuff going on in my life, right? Well,
Yeah.
you know, I went a little time, not using my turntable on my hi-fi. You know, and I'm somewhat of an audiophile. You know, not a nutty one, right? I mean, nutty audiophiles literally spend tens of thousands of dollars on their system. I'm not that guy, okay, but you know, I got some tweaky gear, you know. And Well, I went and I haven't played my turntable for a while. I went in there the other day. And the stylus was gone. I'm like, what the heck? And I looked closely.
The stylus.
Yeah, and I looked
Stylus?
the needle.
Oh, that's
The
what
needle.
I thought.
Okay.
Okay.
And I went and looked closer, and it was like snapped off. I mean, there's a housing that where the whole stylus assemblies kind of plugs into the cartridge, but it was there. The stylus was like snapped off, is like gone. I'm thinking, what in the hell happened? How could that even happen? And the only thing I could think of is maybe my cleaning people were cleaning something. They were dusting something because, it got kind of dusty in areas. And maybe they just went to dust it and snagged their cloth on the stylus or something and ripped it off. You know what I mean? That's the only kind of scenario I could come up with. But isn't that weird? It's just weird.
Yeah,
And I had to buy another one of those,
that is weird.
And the other thing too
I see
is
that
like
my Nightbot is finally working.
What's a Nightbot?
Where you can put your links into it and it'll throw them out every so often in the chat.
Oh, that's pretty
wow.
cool.
That is cool.
Cassie helped me set it up because it wasn't working properly for me. Yeah.
If you would like, let me message Cass or see if she's messaged me. Maybe her internet stopped working. I don't have no messages from her.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I messaged her at like almost 9 this morning and sent her the link. And let me check here. No, she still hasn't seen them. The last message I left her was, I'm going to make it an open panel show, but if you see this, I still want you to come on. And that was at like 20 after 2. So I don't know. I hope everything's okay with her.
I know it's raining
Spooky's
here.
on Facebook.
It's
Is
raining
it?
here.
Oh,
and it
maybe
looks
her
like
internet is.
It's coming from the north, and she's north of me. So it might be raining where she is.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. You mean like storming, Sonny? Like it's really screwing things up, possibly.
When it rains in California, we're not used to that.
All right.
Yeah. I wonder.
Well, isn't there a song that says it never rains in Southern California, but when it rains, it pours? That's a song lyric. Forget what song it is. And so it sounds you're saying that's true.
Yeah,
it doesn't rain a lot, but when it does.
I think that was by Eazy-E when he was with NWA. That's that said that. I'm joking.
So what's your T-shirt there?
Oh man, you guys might remember these guys.
What's that?
They used to be on here like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. UFO Garage.
Yeah, I know those guys. Yeah. One of them lives in Taylor with me. One of them's in Taylor.
We used to party hard there.
One of them lives in Taylor with me. He just lives a few blocks from me.
I think.
And the other one lives in Georgetown, just a few miles from me.
I think they'll be making a return here soon, hopefully.
I hope so.
Man, I bet it'll be awesome when they do. I say soon, but I don't know this. I'm just saying. Just throwing some hopes out there.
Mm-hmm.
Manifesting our destinies for us.
That's cool.
So the dogs are gone?
Huh?
The dogs are gone now?
Yeah, doggone. A guy named Alex took him to Idaho. He took him.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, on the thing, I on the video I made, I say that I think the male's like 2 and the female's a little older because he still likes to chew on things, and took him to the vet too. And the male was 3 and the female was 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They weren't chipped.
Yeah.
So somebody dropped them off.
I
he took
thought
him to the
so. I
groomers.
had that feeling.
He took him to the groomers.
Yeah.
We got he got him dog harnesses that go around their chests and stuff. And the female don't
Yeah.
like it. The male's perfect with them.
Yeah.
Then he
Wow.
went and got him a crate to put him in because he's got to take him all the way back to Idaho.
Oh, wow.
And he's got, I think he has a ranch there in Idaho. He has a ranch, plus he lives in town. And he's got a big, huge backyard, and that's what they get to stay in town.
Nice.
They'll love that.
Right on.
They'll
Yeah,
love
he was
that.
just messaging me right now. He was telling me, female's still real timid. And I said, yeah. And every time you try to touch her, the male runs up to you. And he said, yeah, I know that's what's happening, because that's what happens. And then I told him that stops. After they get used to you, she'll come up to you, and then he'll just stay away. Especially if you give him a toy. He loves toys. That boy dog loves playing with toys.
Right on. Right on.
So
yeah, I had a
those maybe-
feeling. I just had that feeling. You know, the more I looked at the dogs and everything, it's like these dogs have just been dropped off in front of your house. Obviously, somebody trusted you enough to leave the dogs with you. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I think they just made it from North Clovis to over here in a night.
How far is
Is
that?
They made it about 8 miles, 10 miles in one night. People say dogs only travel
Wow.
5 miles a day, but I had a dog run away one time, and the SPCA is where we got her from. So she was arrested.
Yeah.
She got hit by a car and got killed, right? She ran away on 4th of
Yeah.
July because the fireworks
Oh,
scared
wow.
her and we weren't home. She got out
Oh,
and ran
shoot.
away. Okay. This dog ran from where I lived on a street called Brawley and another one called Nielsen. That's the cross streets. All the way to Orange and Cedar. That is like 15 miles from my house. And this is not a dog you just pick up. She'll bite you. She's really mean. So this dog
Wow.
ran that far before she got hit by a car the next day.
Wow.
They will travel
Holy.
farther than 5 miles in 24 hours.
Well, especially sound like this dog got spooked.
Yeah, I
So
think she
really
probably just ran and ran and ran.
right. And she kept running and kept hearing fireworks.
Yep, no matter where she ran to.
Yeah.
Holy.
She didn't like loud noises. I remember it was around Christmas time. We'd had her for like a year, and she was really attached to me. It was my dad's
Yeah.
dog, bro. He had a, the big Christmas wrap things. When you're done, they got the piece of cardboard in there, the big long piece of cardboard tube.
Yeah.
He used to like to hit me with those. Well, when he did, he went whack, and it made that big old popping sound. And that dog jumped up and attacked him.
Wow.
Yeah, we thought he even thought it was funny.
Wow.
She thought
That's crazy.
that popping sound was just, it scared her, and she thought he hurt me, and she attacked him. It was his dog. That's his dog.
Wow.
So yeah, we didn't
Right.
realize though that we knew she didn't like gunshots and stuff, but we didn't think she would run away like on
Mhm.
4th of July. Yeah, we didn't think about that. The house was all fenced in, but she found a way out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like those dogs have gone to a really good place. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, the guy's name's Alex, and man, he's awesome. He's a good guy.
right on.
He's got a wife, and I think she's gonna like him too. And he's messaging me now that he's already fallen in love with him. It's only been one day. He said, "Dude, they're such lovers because they just want to be in your lap." Because they're
Right on.
yeah,
They don't really look like they've been abused, but I mean,
the
they,
female.
yeah, to the female, very timid.
Yeah, because when
You
I
know.
tried to get her on that little dog couch, it looked like she was
Yeah.
gonna pick herself. I tried to pick her up,
Right.
and
Yeah.
she said, wait, she did not want to get on. It was like,
Oh,
yeah, but by the time they left here, She was on that couch. That was her couch. She,
Yeah.
yeah,
Jeez.
That's good.
Wow.
That's
Check her out.
funny.
that
Oh,
was
that's
her
a
couch.
sweet dog.
Yeah, they're
She's a
beautiful
sweetheart.
dogs. Beautiful.
Oh man,
Sweetheart.
I miss them already, JoJo, real bad.
Oh, I bet.
Well,
They're
your daughter
beautiful.
took enough pictures of them.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I sent the link to Spooky. He was on Facebook, but he's not on anymore. And Enzo was in our group chat, and I don't know if he's seen it yet. Let me check. No, Enzo hasn't seen it yet. But Nikki's in the group. She could come on too.
Come on, Nikki. We know you're watching.
Yeah,
I might be getting you a card reader on here. I'm trying. That's what your show was supposed to be, right? Card reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just messaged her my little chat group that I made. Nikki's welcome to come up if she wants to.
Oh, see, I'm old school. I put an ad out on Craigslist right now for you, a card reader for your show. See, they're already flying. It's a bunch of naked crazy guys.
No, that's okay. I'll pass on that.
That's funny. Yeah.
They said they charge by the hour or by the inch. And it's up
Right.
to you, Sam.
By the
Whatever
inch.
you want to pay.
Right.
I don't know what kind of readings they're going to do. They sound good already.
Uh-huh. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Well,
sorry.
no sign of Enzo yet. And Spooky is not online anymore.
Enzo Pardinelli. Spooky, I think, was busy today. I didn't talk to him too much.
Well, he was on Facebook, and I sent him the link, and then I checked, and he went off, and I don't see Enzo online. I guess Chad must be working today or something, eh?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know either.
No. Chad's RC car in today.
Oh,
Him and Jake. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Chad's he's on 10 hours a day now. And I don't know how I know that, but I know that. And Jake's on 9, but he's working an extra hour every day because he's carpooling with his cousin. So
okay, I got a message back from Cassie. She said she's still in bed. She's sick. She don't feel good.
She's sick.
Yep.
Oh man, there's something going around. I'm just glad I didn't get it. Yeah.
Said to tell you that she was sorry, Sam.
Oh no, tell her I said it's all good. Hope she feels better soon.
I think I woke her up when we messaged her.
Oh.
But that's all right. Oh, she said she's in bed still.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting over something too. Like I had no energy for like almost a week. And my balance was like all screwed up and shit. So yeah.
Well, I've turned into
myself, oh my god, I'm gonna go live and I've got no guest and it's just me, and it's like, okay, I gotta round up a few people here.
Yeah, I've turned into, I guess, a kind of a recluse. I don't seem to. I even, my grocery store, I even have them do the shopping. I just pick it up. I open my hatch and they load in my car, And so the advantage is I don't get exposed to germs and like before, but the disadvantage is I just sit around and overeat. I'm as heavy as I've ever been in my life.
Well, since I've moved
way overweight
here from my old place, I put some weight on, but it's actually healthy because I'm eating better. But I have cabin fever so friggin' bad. It's ridiculous. Like, I literally live in the middle of nowhere. I don't drive. So the only time I really go out is with my friend that I live with. And she's got a part-time job. So like I'm sitting around at home. It's like I'm going crazy. Nothing to do. Nothing to do.
Yeah, see, that's what happens to me, except for eating. That's what I do. It
I
keeps
do
me
a
from
lot
going
of that
crazy.
once I smoke one. Once I
Yeah.
smoke one, I can't stop eating.
Is that true? So the cigarettes, if you have
No,
one
not
cigarette,
Oh,
oh, well, oh, I misunderstood. Okay, I'm
She
with you
means,
now.
the munchy
yeah.
cigarettes. Yeah, the
Yep.
munchy
Let's see.
cigarettes.
Oh God, I'm with you now.
Those
Wink, wink,
left-handed
wink,
cigarettes.
nod, nod, nudge, nudge. I
You got a whole bunch of
understand.
names for them. Left-handed cigarettes.
Yeah.
Is the left-handed cigarettes is my favorite one. That's what the Okie cowboy guys call them out here.
I remember when I was a kid, sometimes they'd call it wacky tobacco.
Yep.
Yep. Some of us still
Wacky
do.
tobacco.
I heard one
Some
guy
of
call
us
it
are
a
wacky
giggle stick, and I told him that's not what giggle stick means. You shouldn't be telling people you put giggle sticks in your mouth.
Yeah, some people just don't get these slangs. They use these slangs for all the wrong reasons.
Yep. He thought he came up with a new one.
Crazy.
Well, I do. If you want to try a question, I do have my Magic 8 Ball here. If you guys have a question you'd like to ask the Magic
JoJo's
8
got an
Ball.
8-ball. JoJo's got an 8-ball.
See, check it out. There it is. Right.
God, I
So
haven't
you
seen
guys
one
have a
of those since I was
question?
a teenager.
So you guys have a question for the Magic 8 Ball? Not just any 8 Ball, a Magic 8 Ball.
What's that Magic 8-Ball, like $270?
I don't know. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that expensive.
Want to bet? Want to bet, JoJo?
It's
my.
magic. It's got real magic in it. It didn't cost me that much. It's real magic.
All right, well, let's check it out then.
All right, and ask me a question. Ask
The
it a
Bears
question.
are the Chicago Bears going to go to the playoffs next year? And I'm going to remember this too. I don't ask these kind of questions.
All right, we're
I know the
talking.
answer.
Then, so okay, so the next playoffs, are they going to be in them?
Yep.
There we go. I got to get to the light here.
Well, they're going to need to see the light and a miracle to make them playoffs.
I'm going to get my light here.
Hey, Spooky is back online. I'm just waiting for him to see my message.
He ain't going to come on here. It's going to be
I
like,
wanted
no,
to.
it's not even a work day for me. I'm not going to show my face on there. You got to pay them like $300 on Sundays, $300 more.
The Magic 8 Ball has spoken. The question was: Are the Bears going to make it into the playoffs? The Bears. We're talking about the Bears.
Double.
The Magic 8 Ball says you may rely on it. That's pretty strong.
That's pretty. That's throwing it way out there. That's some high odds.
It
It's
is.
the Magic 8 Ball. If they make the playoffs, you better keep that thing in a safe place.
I'm telling you.
Okay, I got
too
a
bad
question.
it can't. Okay, I'll get it out here. Hang on. I'll rub my ball while you're formulating your
You rub
question.
your balls while
Get his ball hot.
Well,
He's gonna get his ball.
I've only got one ball. I'm gonna rub my ball. Okay, go ahead.
He's a one-ball man, and he's off to the rodeo.
That's right.
Now the man
Okay.
left, now the man right. Come on, fucking.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You may,
Are the Toronto Maple Leafs gonna make the playoffs this year? I know it's going to say no because they never do.
Okay, we'll see. I'm too blind here. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Oh no!
I'm
way.
ready for
Not
this.
the Leafs.
It is certain.
Oh wow! Oh,
So
oh
the
man!
It
the
would be a,
magic 8 ball's going out on 2 limbs.
I haven't.
it would
I
be a
haven't
miracle
followed.
if they did.
I haven't followed hockey in a few years, but I'm gonna follow it now just to see the Leafs. See what happens.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
about
I
that?
watched
Look
the
at
game.
that.
They played the Ottawa Senators last night, and it was a tie at the end of the game. So they had their shootout,
Mm-hmm.
and the shootout went 9 times, and then the Leafs finally won it at the end.
I see.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's weird to see it go that. Like the Leafs are not my team. Like
There it is.
Detroit, the Red Wings have always been my team. Excuse me, but ever since Eiserman left, it hasn't been the same, and he's their manager, and they still suck. They're still horrible.
Guys, I gotta take a break and go grab me another drink. I ran out.
All right.
Alrighty.
I called it.
All right.
Hey.
You got to do it. What are you drinking today, Sonny?
I am drinking cherry limeade salsa.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
Maybe Lammy.
Cherry
They were probably really
limeade.
good with vodka in there, but no vodka, just drink.
Just
I'll be right
drink.
back.
Just got to drink.
Just a drink.
Now, that looks like there's a dog behind you. Is that
That's a
a
wolf.
real dog? A wolf, I'm sorry.
That's a wolf.
Is that a...
No, it's just a blanket on the back of my chair.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, well, if no one's told you, turn around carefully. Because it looks...
No, my dog.
It's
my
got a
little
look
dog,
on
Marley,
its
he's down.
face. It's got a look on his face, like he's
No.
intense.
No, I have it there. That's my spirit animal is a wolf. So that's why I have it there.
Mm,
Yeah.
a spirit animal.
Yeah.
I don't know what my spirit animal is, but my favorite animal is
Your last
an
girlfriend?
elephant. No. I wish.
I had.
An
Hey,
elephant.
Danny.
Elephant. It's an elephant.
An elephant.
In fact, maybe you can see my picture of an elephant right here. Right there. It's an elephant.
Hang on a second.
Right there.
It's kind of hard to see it.
Well, it's got lights
see it
reflecting off it. Do you?
Well, you know,
Looks like
I
a
couldn't see it
mother
because I got
elephant
the
and a
live.
baby elephant.
Yeah, I've got the live and the number in the chat above it. I can see it now. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, I like and my favorite bird. Now that's an animal too, but you know what I'm saying. My favorite bird is an owl. I like owls. I like elephants and I like owls.
Yeah, so does my friend that I live with. Her husband likes owls. There's a whole bunch of them downstairs on shelves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. Cool stuff, man.
Look at Sonny's avatar there.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's cute there. See, it's got the flames coming out of the exhaust, and it's got the big shifter he's holding up high up above his head. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got it together. He's got it together.
He's got his crappage together.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Facebook that I can drag up here. Nobody.
That's a good question. So that Enzo hasn't
Uh,
responded.
no, there's nobody online in our that chat group that I set up for people to come on here. And
Mhm.
Spooky is gone.
Mhm.
No. I'm going to private message Enzo because he was on a couple of minutes ago. Just give me uno momento, por favor.
All right.
Yeah, we need Enzo 5000 up here.
Enzo 5000. Is that his model number?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been calling him that for months and months and months now because he's usually the standby when people's guests don't show up.
So Sonny's loaded up with the new cherry lemonade.
Nope, I switched to Fuji apple.
Fuji. Ooh, I love Fuji
Oh,
apples.
it's
I love
good, dude.
I
This is
love,
good.
I love Fuji's and I love Galas.
And there's 0 sugar in all this stuff too.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what?
Wally says,
now
"Oh,
I
Sonny,
want to
oh,
go
Sonny,
in the kitchen.
UFO."
Yeah, it's
Now I want to go in the kitchen and get an apple.
it's from Walmart. They're like $1 or something like that. For one of these
All
big old
right.
balls. And it's carbonated. So it's like soda.
It's carbonated with but it has no sweetener in it.
Nope.
All right, that's good. It's unadulterated.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It tastes
All
really
right, I
good.
just sent a message to Enzo. Sonny, did you see what Wally said in the chat?
What do you say?
He said only Sonny would put a Hemi in a UFO.
Yeah, I
There you
wish I
go.
made that picture, but I stole that picture from somebody else. Made that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but yeah, that I thought it was cool. I was like, now that's the paranormal chop shop right there. That's what I see when I think of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I would see in the
Again.
paranormal chop shop.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
come
like
on,
it.
dude. Anyone else want another dog? This one came up yesterday too.
Look at that one.
That's your dog.
Oh man,
Is that a Chihuahua?
this is a dachshund.
Oh, a dachshund?
Yeah.
All right.
He's
That's
long
a
as
dachshund?
shit. Yeah, that's a weenie dog.
Wiener dog. Yeah, I see it
It's a
now.
dapple weenie dog.
Oh, it's just a little dog. Oh.
Uh-huh.
A little dog.
A dapple weenie dog. It's a spotted weenie dog.
And that's your dog though, right?
Rocky. Yeah, he's my dog.
She looks like
Want to hunt him up, buddy?
is it a he or a she?
It's a he. He's wanting me to pet him and love on him. He's kind of jealous because those pit bulls were here.
Well, you know,
Spooky!
wiener dogs, they were spooky. There's the man.
What's happening, everybody? Good morning.
We got the spooky.
Happy Sunday.
What's going on?
Happy Sunday. You know, those dogs were bred to go after foxes, I heard.
These dogs? They hunt
Yeah,
badgers.
that's what. Was it badgers? Well, it was for something that burrows, right? They're bred to go in after them when they're.
And they'll hunt
Burrows.
raccoons too. But
Will they?
badgers are mean, and they hunt,
Oh.
they hunt badgers.
Yeah, badgers are mean. Raccoons can be mean too
Mm-hmm.
if they get in a funk.
I seen I don't know if it's still there, but there's a video on YouTube. If you look up dachshunds or weenie dogs
Uh-huh.
hunting
Weenie dogs.
raccoons, there's a guy. He's in the snow, and there's a hollow log,
Weenie raccoons?
and the dogs are sticking their head like in the top of this hollow log, and then they go to the back to go in it. And I was like, "What the hell is he putting them in there for?" You know. Then they drug out this big ass raccoon. Raccoon looks bigger than the dog, but the dogs just shake it. These little dogs are violent, man. They're mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know there are, self-defense experts that claim the hardest thing people have to get over is to be able to become violent when they need to be, because it's a valuable tool, being violent. If there's hesitation,
Hmm.
that's not violent. You got to learn to be violent. But our culture, teaches us to be mild mannered and well behaved and all that, So,
Oh, I think everyone's got it in them. It's those
oh,
fight
they
guys
do.
you gotta watch out for.
They do. But this guy was saying, you got to be able to access it quickly, because you could, if you don't,
Yeah.
you can end up in a bad way real fast if you hesitate. I have to admit, I think I'm one of those. I hesitate and think too much. That's me. I'm a peaceful organism for the most
I'm peaceful
part.
too. I'm just a little thing. I'm only like 5'2", but I've got a really short fuse. Real
Oh,
short,
man.
like me. Mm.
All right. Have you ever gone into road rage mode? Been angry?
I've gone into car rage mode almost in the grocery store. Seriously. My mom never liked going into the grocery store with me. You know how they play the elevator music?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be in the grocery store with my mom, and I'd go around the other way, and I'd start dancing down the aisle towards her, right? You see her face going right red and everything. She's going, "Stop doing that." I'm like, "No." It's fun.
I want to get an apple, but I'll be so noisy. If I had an
That's
apple,
okay.
I'll be crunching that thing.
Just mute your mic when you take a bite.
Yeah. Well, don't tempt me. I might do that because I keep watching Sonny drink that
Hey,
tasty,
good stuff.
tasty water of his.
My wife buys me the good stuff.
Tell you.
Enzo,
There he is.
Save the show, Enzo.
There he is.
Now-
Read card.
Now
you
we're
got the
doing
card
it.
reading? I'm ready to hear it.
The,
I'm not.
Cassie
the
is
party
not
can
feeling
start now. It can start
Yes,
now.
Cassie-
Enzo's here.
Cassie
Here we
was supposed
go.
to come on, Enzo, but Sonny got in touch with her. She's still in bed. She's not feeling good. So
Still in
Yes.
bed. Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going around. Got
Yeah.
that change of seasons coming up. Starting
Yeah.
to sprout out all that stuff, all that green
Yeah.
stuff.
all that
Every
green
time I get-
flemage is
Every time I get these out on the air, Sam, I tell someone to pick a card and then I'm going to cut to it. So pick a card. It's just a deck of cards.
all right on.
From the
Hang on
Rio.
a second.
They gave
So-
it to me because I
So,
want
so
to-
if we pick a card and you're going to cut to it directly.
No, just Sam. Just Sam.
Okay. There we go.
I'll shuffle them one more time. One more
All
again.
right. All right. All right. Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, go ahead, Sam.
How do I pick a card?
There's any card. There's a whole bunch of them.
Are
in
they a
there.
normal deck?
It's just a
Are
normal
they a
deck of
normal
cards.
deck?
Yeah, look, it came from the Rio. I won a lot of
two
money playing
clubs.
blackjack, and they gave me one of it. Which one?
2 clubs.
All right, here we go. Nope. Didn't
Oh,
work.
I see. I see the trick now. The trick is to not pick that card.
Yep. Oh, how come I'm big screen? I didn't know I was big. Oh, you did that. I thought that was me.
I did that. No.
Oh, no, you don't have to big screen it. That's the closest
Well,
I can
go
get to
back
card
in your
reading, guys.
place then.
That's the closest I can get to card reading. Look, this is where it came from. See?
Look at there.
Look how long. That's how old those are.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
these places, once they use the decks for a while, they take them out of commission and then give them away as
I was at the
Gifts.
table and they gave me that one. I think
oh.
yeah. I won a lot
Well,
of money.
They didn't like drill a hole in it or something like that. That's what
Let me see.
What's
They
to,
did.
what's
They had
to,
to have
what's
done
to keep you
something.
from? What I'm saying is what's to keep you from giving that set of cards to somebody else, and then now they've got all aces up their sleeves and everything else.
'Cause it's really. You've been in Vegas. You want to get caught cheating there, Enzo? Does it
Oh
look
hell no!
that
They
friendly?
would
No,
never
man.
find you.
We were there together. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you don't want to do that. And
They
I
don't have
bet
much
these
of a
are
lake to
somehow
hide the
marked.
bodies in anymore, so they just go way out in the desert now.
They got to be marked somewhere.
Was it Goodfellas, or I get them mixed up? Where they go to Vegas, or is that a different movie?
But this was also in 2003. I bet
They,
they
they
don't do
take
this
the guy's
anymore.
hands and his dealing hand, he did all these tricks with.
I think
Do
that
you know what
was
I'm saying?
Goodfellas.
Yeah,
I think
and they hammered his hand, and the guy says, "Oh, now it'll take you a while. You got to learn how to deal with the
so. Is
other
that
hand."
my what's my internet?
Oh.
My internet service.
Anyway, I have no desire to cheat in Vegas.
My internet is doing weird things. Hang on. Are we here?
It's because you picked the wrong card.
Yep, pick the wrong card.
There you go.
Hello.
Hey, you know what?
Are we still
Goddess
here?
could pull one of those cards like when I pull the 7 of diamonds, and she could have gave you the reading of that card like it's a tarot deck. That's how well she has that stuff memorized. She can use a
Really?
regular deck of cards to do it. Yeah.
Wow.
I think my internet is doing weird things. Hang on. My internet's doing weird things. I don't know what's going on here.
Uh-oh, she's gone. Wow, you guys were so boring. She bailed on her own show.
It's like,
So we're glad you're here.
She
We
wanted to hear.
couldn't keep her entertained.
She wanted to hear card readings from Cass. She's mad. She left. Oh, Cassie feels better, guys. She's sick.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. I know once we get a little more greenery growing on the trees here, I'm going to be sick as a dog too. It's like I'm from Earth. How the hell can I
What
be
the heck
allergic
is going
to
on
it?
with my internet? Is screwing up all of a sudden.
Oh
I don't know.
yeah, it sure is.
I don't know
I've been
what's going
told
on
by
with my
people who
internet all of a
suffer.
sudden.
I've been told by people who suffer a lot with allergies in Austin. Austin's like the allergy capital of the world. It's like 4 or 5 ecosystems kind of intersect in around the Austin area, something like that. And there's like always something that's going to make you miserable if you're sensitive to pollens. That's what I've been told. Thankfully, I apparently am not real bad, but
I'm considering finding a place out in the desert and just living out there the rest of my
Yeah.
life. I get tired of it.
well, remember back in the day, was it Phoenix? They told people to move to Phoenix,
Yeah,
but
was,
that doesn't work anymore because they have
they
all
greened
these.
it up.
Yeah, they greened it up. Everybody's got irrigation in their yard, and yeah, they're as bad as any place now. That's the way it goes.
Well,
Rooster?
I was. Yeah, there's lots of chickens out here. Roosters. Well, you can hear those guys. They need to feed them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
noon. They're hungry again. There's
Hello.
there's at
Yeah.
least 500, 600 over there that you're hearing, and most of
My
them
internet
are.
keeps
600.
doing some weird shit. I don't know what's.
The guy breeds them for fighting. I'm serious. They're fighting cocks. So when you guys hear me say, "I wouldn't drive that car to a cockfight in Dinuba," that's a real funny thing.
It's just across the street.
No, it's
So-
usually a wire fence and big old mud puddle. Bunch of guys.
So do they
gathered
barbecue
around
the loser every week?
it. I don't know what they do with the dead ones. Never thought about that. I would eat it.
What is
But they're
going
not
on
very
with my
big.
internet?
It's not like a
What
big old
is
eating
going
chicken.
on?
No, it's skinny like a pheasant. What? Oh, you're freezing, Sam. We just. Oh, I was gonna say we're just gonna cut you out of here, but then she left, so it wouldn't have been funny.
She needs a second chance at that deck of cards.
We got it, Sam. We're gonna keep it going until you get back in here
All right.
for the next 2 minutes. We'll be here.
I got a question, Sonny.
What's up?
Since you also run a paranormal channel, I have a question about spirit boxes. Is that real? Does it actually work? Because every show or whatever that I listen to, they always play back what if you listen to this part, the ghost is saying this, and I can never understand it unless they
Okay.
put the caption at the bottom.
I can't remember this guy's show. I don't even know if I'm subscribed to his channel. I hope I am, and I hope I see it again live. We all know who it is this time, or next time. I've told you guys before. I seen a guy on here, and he had a spirit boxes going and stuff, and he was telling people, he was trying to convince someone that was in chat. They said it wasn't real. And he said, a lot of people say that. And he goes, even I was a skeptic before I seen it happen. He goes, but it is real. And he's got it hooked up through his computer too. So if it is fake and he faked it, he did a good job to make you believe or whatever. But I don't think he was faking it because he just didn't seem like that kind of person. But I only watched him for a couple of hours. But what he ended up doing was holding up his fingers, however many it was. I don't know. But he held them up and he goes, okay, before we continue, he's talking to the spirits. You guys tell me how many fingers am I holding up? And then it just got quiet. Because you can hear a bunch of them going off in the back. You're hearing them talk. And it got quiet. And he goes, we're not going to continue, until you tell me how many fingers I'm holding up. And then somebody, I think, in the back says 1,000. And then he says, yeah, they like to be funny, And he goes, really, until we go, and he keeps saying it, and then it took about 30 seconds of him doing that, and the little joke of 1,000, and then you just hear real deep a man's voice go 4. Like, goddamn, So, and then you keep hearing it, like other voices, 4. It's just different voices, but they keep saying it, and then even when he's trying to talk about something else, they're still saying it. And he goes, yeah, that's enough of the finger thing, But okay,
Ghost lag.
Yeah, it could be faked. It could be whatever he's using. I mean, it would look like it was on the internet. There could be some dude sitting back there going, yeah, go ahead and ask me something else.
Well, I wasn't necessarily angling that it was all fake or anything like that. It's just that I just can never understand it, even when they say there's stuff on there. And I could hear that it sounds like a human voice and it's saying something, but I just personally can never make it out.
Now, on his channel, you can hear it very well. The way he's got so many speakers and stuff set up that you could hear it really good. It wasn't like, I know exactly what you're talking about, where you can't understand it and it just sounds like they said something, and then you try to compare it to anything you can think of, Well, yeah, but no, on his, you could understand it perfectly on most of it, on almost most of it. Their names and everything. Like when he would talk to a spirit, he would ask their names and when they died. And yeah, my big thing with that one, Enzo or Spooky, what do you feel about when they're talking to all these spirits and the spirits are talking back to them? How do you know the spirit talks English? What happens to the spirits that don't speak English? Do they have a way?
It's just sort of assumed that everybody, speaks English in the afterlife and in life. It's like, really, man?
I think the guys that go and do that, they need to take about 10 different people that know 10 different languages and then go in there. And
that's like, I always trip out when people talk about the apocalypse, or like these UFO prophets are telling us when things are going to happen, 2025 or 2026. And then you're like, okay, is that Eastern Standard Time? Is that Pacific? Is it Australia? It's like, come on, man, let's get it together. We need specifics.
Yeah.
I think Nightbot screwed up my
Oh,
StreamYard
no,
kept
you're-
closing on.
You're awesome now. You're good now.
Yeah, it looks good.
Whatever you did, you fixed it.
It's Nightbot. I had to turn it off because I noticed
Okay.
it was throwing my links out there like more often than it should have. Like I had the timer set, and all of a sudden you guys sounded like robots, and everything went crazy. So
We were all dancing and doing the
Nobody
robot. Tomo arigato, Mr. Robot. Tomo.
Nightbot has
Sonny, did
become
you-
self-aware.
Did you see Ben's from UFO Garage latest Facebook?
No, but we were just talking about it. What did it say?
He got a new studio that he's going to be doing all his creative advertising work and stuff, and it's pretty cool looking. I'm happy for him. Really excited for him.
No, I'm
Excellent.
gonna have to check it out. I didn't see it.
He
yet.
has a company started, Nito Creatives, and so they got an office in Austin, Texas. So
That's
really
awesome.
excited
Man.
for. So for if anybody's wondering where he's been, I mean, he's obviously very, very busy working.
We were just talking about him. They were asking whose shirt I had
Mhm.
on, and I turned it around and told them, "It's these guys that used to be on here a long time
Oh
ago."
yeah,
A
I got
long
that.
time ago.
Like 10, 15 years ago. We used to do shows.
it does seem
Yeah,
that long.
They're gonna come back hard though. You guys watch. They're gonna
Only
come
a
back
year. Yeah.
hard.
It was
What did I
only a
just
year
do?
ago that we were hanging out in Vegas.
That's right.
what just happened there?
Crazy.
I didn't even hit anything.
It wasn't me.
I just
I
went
got
full
no
screen
control.
and then back. I don't know what's going on here, man.
You're getting show jacked.
Hey, Jojo Bone. Hey, Jojo. So last night we were all amazed. I was pointing out to the guys how your new studio lighting looks incredible. And I even suggested that your lighting reflects your tie-dye t-shirts.
I like
It
that.
almost,
I never
did you
thought of
plan it
that.
that way? Dude.
No, it just happened. It's karma, I
See
guess.
over here on your right side, there's a
Yeah.
corner of the wall, and it was lit up almost like a yellow gold. So
Yeah,
the gold would
there
blend
we
into
go.
the purple.
Yeah.
I mean, your
yeah.
studio is tied. You know what you are?
What's that?
You're groovy, baby.
That's JoJo with the mojo.
I'm
right
groovy, man.
You are
It's
groovy.
groovy.
there. JoJo with the
Groovy,
mojo.
man.
Grooving.
It's happening, man.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying to him. That his lighting looks really cool.
And your song, the radio show is going great. The music is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. It's great entertainment.
Thank
And
you.
it's
Go get an
cheap.
apple. You.
It's
Got an
cheap,
apple?
yeah.
That's why I was muted because apples are noisy.
I drove him
apologize
nuts.
for that.
I showed him this Spooky, and he couldn't stand it no more. He had to go get an
Oh,
apple.
Fuji apple. Ooh, I bet that's good.
Oh, it's good.
Hmm. Hey, Sonny, you guys are about ready to get more rain, right?
It's raining. It's been raining.
Oh, you guys already got it. We're supposed to get it today, and then the next 3 days. This has been the wettest winter for California. It's crazy.
How long
Yeah.
before you're back into a drought?
Oh, they'll be sending out the notices pretty soon. As soon as it stops raining, can't wash your
Seems
car.
I just
Yeah.
told someone that I said before, it rains here. I think I was telling Chad, it rains
Mm-hmm.
here. People exaggerate, so they'll give California.
Well, I am
that
not
drought
exaggerating. Last
Good.
winter we didn't get hardly a drop.
money. It's rained more here than I've ever seen. I think
Same here.
in the last month because it's been raining for a month. They don't do that here.
Right. It's nice because I was complaining for many, many, many months about not getting any rain and it being so dry.
Yeah.
I just want our snow to go away.
Oh man, I like the snow.
We didn't get much
I'm
snow
Well-
this
sick of
year.
it. Done with the snow.
We like it when we just get to visit it. I don't know about
well.
living in it.
Yes. go to the ski chalet for a weekend, and that's good enough. You're done with the snow.
It's a
for
little
while.
different than that
Yeah.
nasty, dirty, sludgy stuff that's left
Do-
over at the end.
Do you have to shovel your walkway and stuff? Like, is it bad like
No.
that every day? No. Oh.
No, they've got somebody that comes and plows it when
Oh.
it's really bad. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I never leave the house anyway, but if I lived where it snowed like
You think
that, I
why,
would
really?
never leave the house. Oh man, what a great excuse just to curl up with a good book or
Yeah.
a fireplace and cup of tea.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. I do a lot of this and a lot of rearranging stuff because I get so bored.
Hmm.
So, do you actually read physical books, or are you a Kindle guy?
We're mostly Kindle now. My daughter got me into it because she started. She's been using Kindle since she was probably in grade school, and I wasn't really that into it. But then once you start it, it's kind of hard to get away from it. Now they make it so easy. I mean, one click on my Amazon and it's downloaded into the Kindle.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, that Kindle Unlimited that they're running right now. It's like that's actually not a bad deal. I mean,
It isn't. Yeah, it's good. I'm
It's-
telling you, they make
it's-
it almost too
Yeah.
easy.
Well, the Kindle also has lots of nice features. You know, like I have trouble sometimes if there are lots of characters. They'll bring a character you haven't seen in 6 chapters. You're like, well, who's he again? You can click and it'll take you back to where that character was introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like just temporarily, so you can read that page again and go, okay, I remember who he is now.
Yep.
Hey,
things
Jojo,
like that.
I'm assuming you have Amazon Prime to where you can watch Amazon Prime Video and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a recommendation. This show that I started watching, it's called Daisy Jones and the Six. Have you heard of that?
No, what's it about?
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I know you're a music man, and this
Mhm.
one is influenced and based off of the history of Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, really?
It's not exactly about them, but it is basically influenced all about them.
Okay,
And I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it is good.
that's good. I'll check it
what's it
out.
called?
Daisy Jones and the Six. It's on
Yep,
Amazon.
I started watching that too, and I was thinking, man, this looks like it's real, but I've never heard of these
Mhm.
people. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then the music sounded familiar, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And who'd you say it was supposed to
Sonny,
be? Oh,
It's supposed to be influenced on Fleetwood Macs. You know how they had a lot of
I was
volatile
thinking it was
years.
Stevie Nicks. That's
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as the girl comes up with the gypsy dress, it's Stevie.
what were you saying, Sam?
Is Papa Willie set up to go online?
No.
Oh, can he
Not
not
yet.
come on here either? Like from his phone?
Yeah, from his phone, but it won't work. We don't have any internet out here.
he has bad bad signal.
Because I just messaged him on Facebook. Okay.
I've tried to talk to him before on phone, and it's really bad signal.
Okay. Well, that's
Speaking of Amazon Prime, have you watched? I imagine everyone here has probably seen it. Hellier. Have you seen that show?
No, I have not seen that. Hellier.
but
I've heard of it. Yeah.
I haven't.
It's. I thought it was really good. It's basically about this group of paranormal investigators, and they're actual people out of Cincinnati, and they went to West Virginia, Hellier, West Virginia, to
That's
investigate
right.
some stuff. And there's a set of synchronicities that lead them to this next thing, which leads them to this next thing, where they got 2 seasons worth out of what they just thought they were just filming, their regular goings on. It was just so interesting. They kind of stitched it together into an actual show. And I follow the one lead guy on there on Twitter, and I guess he's getting into talks this week with coming out with the season 3.
Wow.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to jump off of here.
All right, Sonny.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I was having a
no,
good
you
time too,
can't.
but I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem,
Well,
dude.
I'm
It's
on
good to see
I'm
you.
on for another hour, so you're welcome to come back if
Okay,
you want.
if I
Sonny.
can, I'll jump back on. All right.
All
Hey,
right.
we're out.
You're still on.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you for having me, Sam.
anytime, Sonny.
I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Spooky,
Okay,
for taking
Sonny.
over and telling
Okay.
everybody about the dogs for me last night too.
Oh, yeah. I hope I did it right.
Yeah, because I was sad, dude. I was sad.
You got good karma coming your way, brother. I'm telling you, it's all
Slept for
coming
like
back to
12
you.
hours. I went straight to bed. Dude. I
Absolutely.
slept for like 12 hours.
You did good,
Absolutely.
man.
Good karma.
You're
All
you're a
right, y'all.
guardian angel. All right,
You're a good man, Sonny.
Yeah. Love you guys.
later, bro. Love you,
Bye,
man.
Sonny.
Whew.
And
Yeah,
then
that
number
was
4.
tough. That was tough. He showed me some videos of just himself with the dogs, and it was very, very touching. Those dogs,
Beautiful dogs.
they fell in love with him instantly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the female was really timid, but she's beautiful. Like they're both
Yep.
beautiful dogs. Very
Like we
gorgeous
said last
dogs.
night, we were talking last night, and we said, this is a happy ending, even though it's a little bit bittersweet. It's happy ending because they're gonna have a good life.
That's great.
Oh yeah, they're going to, what did he say? Ohio.
Idaho.
Oh, Idaho.
Yeah. Not too
The
far.
other
but-
hoe. So I wonder how long they had been running around like that, because they didn't have collars or anything on them, right?
No, not chipped either.
Oh,
No
wow.
chips. No.
Yeah, where Sonny lives is very, very rural. It's country. I mean, it's not like city Fresno, and even city Fresno's country. But where
Right.
he lives is even way country.
I wonder how long they were out running around on their own, because they didn't look like. I mean, I don't know how long when they'd been with Sonny, but it didn't look like they were emaciated or anything
Right.
like that. So
I agree. Yeah, it's really hard to say. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, because
just
when he
never
showed
know.
them, when he went live Friday, they showed up at his house Thursday night.
Yeah, it wasn't that long at all. He just had them for barely
It
a
was
couple
just
days.
like overnight,
Oh,
and
wow.
he had them for like 2-3 days.
Yeah, it was very, very short time. But the way
Yeah.
I look at it, thinking about the origins of the dog, it's like I think if two dogs like that actually, let's say they got out and ran away, if they really were coming from a great home where they were getting a lot of love and they were being pampered and stuff, I don't think they'd run away. I think they'd probably go back.
No.
right.
So
Well, the black one, the male was very outgoing and everything, but the female, very
yeah,
timid.
it was
you know,
traumatized.
like always
Something happened.
twitching. Yeah, something.
Mhm.
And you could tell that you go to pet, like Sonny said, you go to pet the female, and the male was like right there protecting. So obviously they've been
Mhm,
together for a
mhm.
long time,
Mm-hmm.
right? That would be quite obvious. That, I was a volunteer for many years for an animal rescue group where I
Oh,
once lived. And I mean, I've seen a lot of good things and I've seen a lot of bad things, right? So in between all of that, you can tell by the mannerisms of the animals.
Mhm.
Between just being shy and scared, maybe nervous, not knowing the person, and just like outright like cowering and being very timid. So I
Yeah.
could tell from what I could tell that the female, maybe not maybe not physically abused to that extent, but maybe a lot of like emotional abuse, like a lot of yelling and hollering.
Mhm.
Because when Sonny got mad about something and the dog she didn't want to get up on that little couch he's got out there in his garage. She was kind of like this, right? And always,
Mhm.
staying right close to her buddy. So I don't know. Maybe the two dogs met up along the way. Maybe they're from two different owners. That's what I thought too. Just the mannerism, like the difference in the mannerism between the two of them. Who
Mhm,
knows?
mhm.
Maybe they're from two different owners and just both of them dropped off together somewhere. You never know. They could have met up along the way too. You never know.
Mhm.
only they know what really happened to them, right?
Well, I know I have a German Shepherd. She's 8 years old now, and she's been the best dog in the world. I mean, she is just an amazing German Shepherd. And I know JoJo has Flavia, and I forget the her breed.
She's part German Shepherd, part Border Collie.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
we both have dogs. How about Sam and Enzo? Do you guys have pets of any kind?
You've seen Enzo's seen my
You have a
little dog,
cat.
Harley, before.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
have my cat. I don't have any cats anymore. I just have my dog. You've seen
Oh, okay.
Harley, my little black dog Harley. He's a
Yeah,
black
now
paw.
that you mention it, I have seen Harley.
Yeah,
And I remember the
I
name.
bring him up.
Yeah.
He's downstairs.
I'm,
He's hanging out downstairs with the other two dogs. He lives.
I'm actually allergic to cats and dogs, and
Oh, wow.
Oh,
a bunch of other animals in the world. But if it wasn't for that, I'd have a house full of dogs. I think dogs are great.
Mhm.
I'm not much of a cat
Yeah.
person, but dogs are awesome.
I would
But
have.
I prefer
I would
breeding,
have
so.
dogs, cats. I would have horses. Oh yeah, if I had my own place with, like a barn and some property. Oh yeah, I'd have my own little zoo.
Wouldn't
Absolutely.
that be amazing?
Oh yeah, Sam's Arden Paranormal Zoo. Mm.
That's actually a good description of what's on screen right now. Actually, so it's
Wild animals.
Wild animals.
this is
Yeah.
the pound.
Oh, Enzo, have you seen some of the ridiculousness on Twitter lately? Do you see
You'll have to be more
everyone's
specific.
posts? Oh my god. Well, there's a thing going on right now between, I guess you could say, three people, and they're all in the UFO field. And it's a combination of, do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. There's
And
certain,
the homophobicness, and it's just, I keep seeing all
Crabs in a
that,
pot.
like, to each their own. Yeah, but
Right.
to each their own, right? But the thing is, not everybody wants to see it all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I got to the point that this morning, like, I was, checking my Twitter and checking people I watch, and I actually commented. I said, something along the lines of all this way too much drama. Some people need to grow up. Like, take it offline. Like, deal with it amongst yourselves.
Yeah, this all started like a couple years ago.
Lately, it's been really bad. It's been really bad the past few days. Like a couple weeks.
Mostly because people will turn around and call them out on it and like do entire videos online about it and stuff like that, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it because the stuff that's being said is ridiculous. And honestly, it's just old school troll behavior. It's not like they're like, you don't even like this guy because of this reason or this theory. It's not that they have like a difference of opinion on UFO stuff or anything like that. It's just straight out kindergarten level name calling.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you one thing. A couple of the things that I've seen from people that like I follow and people that like I've talked to, sometimes online you really get to know what a person is really like. There's the persona that some of them put on, and then people dig and they find things, but they post them online. See, I've got no issues with, these debunkers that call out these UFO grifters. I've got no issue with that at all. Because
I agree.
That needs to be done. And I'll tell you, the best one at that is Stephen Cambion. That's just my opinion. Right, but like he's hilarious. He's hilarious. He is very funny. He's a lot of fun, but I mean, it's just it's like this person and that person, and you're homophobic, you're racist, and they're posting things from like back 5-6 years ago. but you're bringing it
Yeah,
out
that's-
now.
You
You
know,
know what I mean?
this thing
Like,
never forgets. Whenever you post
No.
silliness years from now, just like all of those same people we're talking about are going to try and go online and be serious about something else at some point a couple of years from now,
yeah,
and everyone's going to go like, "It's like, aren't you that guy that was stirred up all the muck a few years
know.
ago?" And
I
they're not
know.
taken seriously then. So, which of course
Well,
that
that's why
type
I
of
stayed away
personality
from
just
Twitter.
drives
Yeah,
them
that's-
crazy because it's all about
yeah,
attention.
yeah,
That's all.
truth seekers went.
So help me out here. What is a UFO grifter?
A UFO
What does that
grifter
mean?
is somebody
It's-
that fakes evidence
Oh,
to
Okay.
try and profit from it.
oh,
Mostly for
And
now
the list of them
nowadays,
is
it's
like this long.
yeah, it's people that have channels that they're like, look at this amazing UFO footage, and it's like that's a plane. That's obviously a plane.
Yeah, we won't mention any
No,
names.
it
or
could be.
anything
We
on
don't
there.
know. It's a plane. Are you an
Yeah.
aviation specialist? How do you know? And it's just this cascading idiocy that goes out of control.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's a hubcap from an old Buick,
Right.
kind of thing.
Well, it's
Okay.
just like,
You
you
know-
know, paranormal investigators. Nobody is an expert in the paranormal field. And
Oh,
I really don't think that there's any real experts in the UFO field either, because we're all just like, they're all just trying to go out and get evidence, like real evidence, right?
Right. Well, basically, with especially UFOs are the hot button topic right now because
Yeah.
we have from when all the stuff was released by the DoD several years ago, and it made
Mhm.
headline news. The Navy's encountering strange objects and stuff like that, which it brought in a whole new generation of people that don't know all the old stories, or they don't know who to listen to and who not to listen to. And so it's kind of the cycle started all over again, because it's like, well, this person
Yeah.
says they know all about it. Well, who are you? It's like, yeah, we've proven that guy doesn't know what they're talking about a long time ago. Catch up.
Yeah.
But
You know who I
it's-
miss a lot?
Who's that?
Art Bell. Art Bell.
Oh yeah, every day.
I-
Every time
oh,
I go
God,
to
I
sleep,
miss
it's like,
Art Bell,
oh, I wish
man.
Art Bell was on.
Like, I cannot
and
get into George Norrie. I don't know. I
he's
just
the worst.
I can't. I don't know what it is.
And
It's
wasn't
not-
George Norrie handpicked by Art Bell to be his replacement? I believe
I
that's
don't
the
know.
story that I understood, because at the end, I mean, not only at the end, but for a number of at least several months, I know that Art brought George into being his host whenever Art couldn't do a show.
Right.
Well, I know George Knapp has done a few hostings of it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
George
we
Knapp
could
is
show.
better than George Norrie, I
He's-
think.
He's way better.
Yeah,
I don't
I
like
love
either
to.
one of them.
His shows are pretty good, but yeah, nobody will ever be like Art Bell. You know, he's like one of those
No,
legends.
and to be fair,
Well, George
some
Norrie
people.
was worked for the government, apparently.
Hmm, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
What
that.
were we gonna say, Enzo?
To be fair, some have pointed out that the infotainment side of Art Bell may have done some damage to certain things by just getting wackadoo people on there. But that was part of the allure of the show. Is you can make up. We're all adults. We can make up our own mind if we believe somebody or not on their story. But
Yeah.
some people can't do that. They need I need a list of all of their achievements and who they are and where they went to school and all these things. It's like, no. This was a sideshow. This was look at the freaks kind of a show. And some of them
Man,
were really good and memorable and don't believe a word of it. But
Well,
they told a good tale.
Isn't everything entertainment?
Pretty much.
I mean, even real life is entertainment. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
who actually knows the real you, right? Only you know the real you.
Well, but
So,
like
so you put on a face when you go to work. You put on a face when you go to school. You put on a face when you go to Costco. Or go out
I
in
wish
public.
George Norrie would
Who
put
knows
one
the
on.
real
Because
you?
He doesn't entertain me at all. You know, I give
He's
some
a horrific. He's a
that's
horrible interviewer.
Oh,
And that's why
he-
instead
he-
of
you could say that again.
picking
He's
apart
awful.
and being ugly about each other, if you don't like something, don't freaking watch it.
Well,
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that's
Exactly.
something new that's on the scene. That is their entertainment. Look at me, how much shit I just stirred up. Woohoo!
Look at the phenomena and
Yeah.
all these issues that we talk about, to me, is nothing more than a giant mirror. And what
Yeah.
it's doing is causing all of us to look at each other, but also to look at ourselves and how we react to each other and how we treat each other. That is really what this is all about. And you know what we're doing? We're showing that we're really, really ugly to each other. And
Yeah.
we need to make
Yes.
we need to make big changes immediately. All this
Yeah.
stuff that you talk about, like these guys fighting in Twitter, and you know these UFO celebrities with their little podcasts. All it is overinflated egos, and they're just
Oh,
trying to duke it out
definitely.
to see who can win. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my vitamins.
I'll tell you who's an outstanding interviewer, and that's Ian Pundit on
Oh,
that show.
I remember
He's
Ian.
very
He did a
good.
pretty good job.
Yeah.
I'll be going later this year to Contact in the Desert, and everything's
Ooh.
based around George Norrie. I hope I get my opportunity to ask him, Mr. Norrie, what brand of soy sauce do you use on your hair and mustache? Because it is jet black for a gentleman of your age.
It is. It is.
That's too good. That's too
It
good.
really is. Well, you know, getting back to his interviewing is that what I don't. I'm not. He doesn't make me angry or anything. He just doesn't entertain me. He doesn't have a thread that he follows. He doesn't follow up.
That's
He doesn't listen to
that's
what the
why-
guy said and have a
Exactly.
good follow-up question. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, like everything
He'll
he talks
just-
about is
it's
in the
everywhere.
same voice tone.
I
He
mean,
doesn't-
I hung on every word that came out of Art Bell's mouth.
Oh yeah.
Me
when
too.
when I would
Me
hit that channel, I would just eat it up.
Midnight in the Desert. Yeah, Midnight
He
in
understood
the
the-
Desert. I never missed it. Never.
Art understood the drama of radio.
Right.
He
Yeah.
really understood it.
He
Right.
did.
Yeah,
He did.
Art was a great showman. I mean, he
Yeah.
understood that obviously this person is a complete wackadoo, but
Yeah.
and something else. I mean, he didn't screen his calls. He would just
No.
plunk it down. You're on
He
the air.
manned it
He's
out,
right.
I
He's
tell ya.
right, yeah. And
Yeah.
It's like you were on
got
pins and
what you got.
needles.
Yeah.
You never knew what was going to come on there.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's entertainment.
I mean,
That's part of that allure of that show.
there at least once or
know.
twice I can remember him booting somebody off the show because they were obviously just scammers, just bullshitters.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, now, generally speaking, I don't think he would mind that if they were entertaining, but these people were they had nothing to offer. They
Right.
weren't.
So
if they're
speaking
gonna
of Art
bullshit,
Bell,
make it interesting.
speaking of Art Bell, I do have to ask: do any of you guys go back and listen to any of the old Art Bell shows? Because
I
they're
do.
available online.
Yeah, I do.
No, I
my
have.
my radio station, before they do the weekend shows for an hour or two, they'll do an old Art Bell show.
Oh,
They'll
cool.
play a tape.
Well,
It's-
they
it's right.
the Coast to Coast website, or not the website, the Coast to Coast YouTube channel. I'm sub to it, and every so often they do have the old Art Bell shows that they'll run. And
Oh, I
I've
didn't know
listened to
that.
a few of them, and it just brings back memories. I forget what show it was. There was somebody was live, and they were saying something about. I think it was the other night with you and Big Willie or someone. We're saying about sitting there, listening to an Art Bell show online. It's like you're sitting beside an old, one of those old radios,
Yeah, the
Exactly.
old timey
Back in-
radio shows. Yeah.
an old AM FM radio. That's what it feels like,
Yeah.
right?
You just
Right.
wanted to get all snuggy around your radio and just
Yeah.
For me, I used to have to
Yeah.
drive about 35, 40 miles one way to work. and I would work really weird hours because it was the newspaper business, and sometimes, and it was always when the Art Bell show was on. So that was when I really soaked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah,
bad
Art-
insomnia and barely sleep at all. So Art Bell and I were good pals for many,
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
Really,
entertainment.
yeah.
I mean, he was amazing.
He was amazing. I
Legend.
mean, Art Bell was someone I looked forward to his show.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, I would
Absolutely.
I looked forward to it.
And depending
Got
on where you
Star Trek
lived,
art.
depending on where you lived, you know, it would come on like what time would it come on? Like 10 o'clock your time out there on the West Coast?
Yeah. Let me think about that. Boy, I seem to remember it being later. Like,
Maybe it was.
It was midnight here because it was about
yeah, I
midnight
feel
in
like
the-
it was midnight.
Yeah, it was midnight everywhere, I think.
Hmm.
Well, you talking about Art Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His show was on for 4 hours every night. And
Was it 12 to 4? Midnight to 4?
Well, Central
think
Time it
so.
was. So
I
I don't
think
know.
So
I think it was
Mhm.
12 to 4
4 hour
Central,
show.
but you know, it shifted
East
around.
Coast it's a 1 a.m. It was a little later for that, but
Now,
Mhm.
he used to have a guy on there, Richard C. Hoagland, and he would always talk about the Mars mission and all that,
Face
the
on
face on
Mars.
Mars and the pyramids on Mars. But the reason I bring that guy up is because that was my most favorite Art Bell episodes was when the Phoenix Lights happened. And Richard C. Hoagland happened to be a guest one night. I think it was the night when CNN reported and showed the Phoenix Lights. And it
Wow.
was just like too good to be true. I think that night the X-Files was on TV. They're one of their yeah. And then that later that night after the X-Files, all that stuff happened
Wow.
with the Phoenix Lights. It was wild.
Wow, that was a entertainment lineup.
It was a great, I think it was Sunday night if I remember.
I'd
God,
trip all the way around there.
man. My
he had
favorite
some
episode
great
of his is when the guy called in and said he was gonna buzz Area 51, basically, or he's gonna land there.
Mhm.
And you don't know. To this day, I don't know if he was lying, and I don't think Art Bell knew if he was lying. He didn't care. It was great radio, and he made it great radio. It was wonderful. And
I mean,
one
how's
else
Art
could
Bell
do it like
sitting out
Art.
there in the desert in a basement in the desert? How's he going to be able to verify all that stuff people are
Right.
telling him? Right?
Right.
Come on. Look. And he didn't. In his early years, the internet wasn't even as robust
Oh, no.
as it is now, right?
No,
People
No, not
used
at all.
dial-up connections and shit.
It was a big deal when you could fax in stuff to Art Bell. I remember that.
Right?
yeah.
We're connected all the time now, everybody.
And remember
Remember
when
that?
he would
Oh,
do the fast chat things on the radio on the phone. It would like a lightning round, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. just like a mirror one.
And it was like, say something to make me not cut you off in 3 seconds.
Uh-huh.
I'll cut you off, right? Now he do it in different forms. He had several games he did that with, but that's basically what it boiled down to. You know, sometimes he would just say funny things like, "Yeah, okay," thing, hit the
Mhm.
button, get to the next one. You know,
Eric,
I
if you
kinda
want to
like-
come up, there's the link in the chat. You can come up. You're more than welcome to.
I was always a
Oh,
big
Eric.
fan whenever
Yeah.
he'd have Ed Dames on, who
Mhm.
was Doctor Doom. He always referred because he was a remote viewer. He supposedly was part of the whole remote viewing program
Right.
with the CIA.
That's where I
whatever,
first
whatever.
heard about the CIA's program from Art Bell Show.
right?
Yep, probably from him. And he was wrong a lot. And Art Bell always made sure to point that
Right.
out to him when he'd have it, but he'd still have him on all the time to make
Right.
his wacky predictions of things he had remote viewed, and they never panned out.
Well, Art Bell did both things. You know, he would call you on things,
Yep.
but
Oh,
he'd have you back
definitely,
on
yeah.
if you're entertaining. You know, if
Exactly.
you were entertaining, he understood radio. It's just fabulous.
Because
you know?
and that was the deal with Ed Dames, is because you had groups of people that oh man, that's kind of cool that he has this special abilities designed through the military to do it. And you'd have the other group of people on the other side. He's like, yeah, but he's wrong every goddamn time. What good is it?
Mhm.
You know, it's like,
Remember the
And one of
guy
the-
he always used to have on that had the little boxes that somehow measured disturbances in the, I don't know, in the just on the
You mean
planet.
like-
Atmosphere.
Not
Oh.
atmosphere like that, but
oh,
he
it was
he
the random number generators
Yeah.
that would go off and synchronize. Where it was like during 9/11, they synchronized. During
Yeah.
like earthquakes, they would synchronize and all this stuff. Where it's
Yeah,
supposed to
he
be a
had him
totally
up a
random
lot.
number, but then they'd start matching whenever like big events.
yeah,
happened.
I like that.
I remember
you
that.
know, and I think
remember
it's
that.
like it was a little wacky, but it was believable, you know, and it made
Right.
great radio, you know. It was like, man, something out there, you know, that we as the human species, you know, were or something, the planet, maybe that, remember, had all these theories like maybe the planet is a living organism. It's not a thing with necessarily with lots of living organisms, which we understand that it itself is a living organism, right? And the random generators maybe are picking up on that.
Actually, and this was pre the Matrix movie. One of their theories for that particular one was that maybe everything is like a computer program. Is one of the things that's without actually bringing up the Matrix because nobody knew what it was at that time when they were talking
I was
about
just
it.
thinking that the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not everything's as natural as we think. They didn't really go as far as saying this is all a simulation, or because we didn't really have that vocabulary yet until like the Matrix came out and that idea spread out more. But
I remember one
Oh,
great
yeah.
line from that movie was something like, I know what you're thinking now. I should have picked the blue pill. I can't remember which way it went.
We have a new viewer.
I wish I
here.
would have picked the blue pill.
KMG 8991. Can I share you out and show some support? Absolutely. That would be great. Thank you. And welcome, new viewer. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. The more the merrier.
yeah, there's
Yeah, I didn't want to
there's-
leave the link out there for too long.
Yeah. The way Art Bell, I mean, it was like this weird, like cult following of people that were, you know, up in the wee hours of the morning, you know, hanging on every word of. There were even
Yeah.
like characters that, you know, you had Mel's Hole and Madman Markham and
Yeah.
the Area 51 guy. And
You had
stuff like that.
regulars
Oh,
that
he
would
was
come
great.
back.
The
They were
Area
great.
51
yeah.
guy. Oh, he was awesome.
And plus
That
the
was
way
great.
he lived he had like a compound, right?
Yeah.
That had like antennas all over it for all the different wavelengths of all the different ham radio stuff he was in.
Yep.
And he was a
like,
smart
yeah,
guy. He understood. He knew a lot
Oh,
about
yeah.
radio and ham radio. He just radio in general. He just knew a lot, and that's really kind of what got him into his show. Was just, I think, his interest in radio because he was doing other things before the Art Bell that we know today was created. And wow, man, I wish he wouldn't have smoked. He'd still be here with us. Or he was
Yeah.
a chain smoker.
He had there at the very end. He had some other issues, I think, besides just health issues. He was, if you remember the storyline of it, is of course he retired. He lost his longtime wife, moved to the Philippines,
Yeah.
found another wife and remarried.
Yeah.
Moved back to Vegas or in Pahrump, the Kingdom of Nye, and I guess started trying to. He missed it. He kind of had that bug. He wanted to get back into doing it, and of course, yeah, they didn't want. I guess I want to say he did like pop in on like one regular actual coast to coast show, but they didn't really want to bring him back in full time kind of thing. So he ended up going with Sirius XM Radio.
Well, probably one that didn't want him back is George Norrie because you didn't know he could get power, right?
He could like
Yeah.
elbow him out right away quick.
You know, if he doubles the ratings or something, you got to think about that if you're running that
Oh
company.
yeah. But he ended up going on XM for a while. And I guess the story goes is basically he had an intruder on his property while he was doing the show that supposedly was armed, and it super spooked him. He's like, that's it. No more. I'm not doing this anymore. And just only after like a few weeks of being on Sirius XM, doing the same show, the same format, the same old callers, started finding them and calling in and all that. And then in the middle of the show, he cut everything off because there was somebody creeping around his place.
Wow.
And he's like,
That's
nope,
scary.
not doing this anymore.
Well, and I also heard, because remember on the digital radio stuff, he did 2 attempts. He did that first attempt, and I heard what pissed him off is they didn't understand his formula, which is letting people call in unscreened and all that. And somehow they couldn't. I don't know if it was a technical issue or what, but they couldn't work it out. So he quit that one, and he waited for another couple of years before he had an exit contract. So he had to time out before he could do his own thing again. And then that's when the people with the guns got involved. That so bummed me out. I was so happy to have him back.
Yeah, I know.
And he was back on for what, 3 or 4 months, and then this happened, and
it wasn't long.
Yeah.
And then his producer, they tried to sell us the gal that was his producer, and I don't wish her anything bad, but remember her? She was like milk toast. I mean, she had no, we keep comparing everybody to him, but it's really not fair because he's so good. But
it isn't.
He was edgy. He says that's I've heard him say that about Nori. He said Nori just not got any edge to him. He's not edgy.
No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't have the personality that Art did.
Mm-hmm. Nori's just too nice to everybody all the time. It gets old.
It's just
like, come on.
When I have Sirius XM, and I would listen to George Nori on there because there's nothing else going on in the middle of the night, and once I started listening to it through Sirius XM, which is a much better signal, better quality sound, the whole spiel over AM or FM. I would notice that I would hear him because I'd have headsets in. I would hear Nori ask a question, and then I'd hear like this. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I heard it all the time after he would ask someone a question. I think what it was is he probably had like a felt tip marker. He had all of his questions pre-printed out, and he was lining through each one as he asked them.
Oh, wow.
Because that makes sense to me, because he would had these standardized questions he would ask one after another. And like you said earlier, JoJo, he wouldn't pay any attention to whatever the guest was saying.
Had no continuity to it at all. Nothing.
They say something bananas off the wall while answering his question. He's like, he go right back into whatever the standard basic question was as the next follow. Did you just hear what he said?
Yeah, it's like, we'd like to follow that. Yeah, that thread. It's interesting. And not only that, but the questions were just so unrelated, extremely unrelated. It's like I couldn't make the adjacent questions more unrelated to each other. I don't know who did that list of questions for him, because I think he probably had a producer do it for him, and he just he looks at himself as an announcer. That's how he got into it. He has the voice and he's got that going for him for radio, but he didn't have that personality. He was kind of an announcer guy, or is kind of that way,
Yeah.
That's why when George Knapp or Ian Pundit is on there, I think they're the two good guys, and they're on there on the weekends a lot. It's a great show. I'll tune into those, but not during the week. It's just I can't get into it.
Sam, I want to thank you for having me on today. It's been really nice chatting with you guys. I do have to get going though, but I wanted to say thank you so much. It was so nice to see all of you.
Yes, nice
Thanks
to
for
see you too.
stopping
You're
by,
welcome
Thank you.
anytime. You're all welcome
Thank you so much,
anytime.
guys. Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday, guys. Love you all.
All right,
You
you too,
do.
buddy.
Bye.
All right. Now
Look
we
for
can
little
really
tree
hate
out
George
there for a
Norrie.
bit.
Now let's go dig into. Yeah. No, I have no hate for the guy. It's just
I do.
get interested.
I don't
in
like
it.
him at all. I was,
No, I don't either.
I
I don't know. I just
I swore off of the show. It was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
Mhm.
when because I hadn't listened for a long time, but I was awake. I knew I was not going to sleep anytime soon. It's like, let's see what's going on Coast to Coast. It was on that 11th day of that 9th month of the year, and so which I didn't think anything of. And honestly, I thought I would listen to Coast to get away from all of that, just something that wasn't that conversation from the entire day.
Mhm.
And no, he had on a conspiracy theorist, how it was all fake. There were no airplanes. It was missiles. It was like, really, today, today, the day of this incident, you're pulling out this? That's just, I just was super insulted by it, and it really made me angry.
Yeah.
That he went that far on that day. I was like, you know what? Never again. I'm never listening to this show ever again.
And they find these characters, who's like, well, he's a structural engineer, so he would know. It's like, come on. How about the other 900,000 structural engineers? That's bogus, There was just no counterpoint to it, and we just let these people go nuts, I mean, and then they'd say things, well, that makes no sense at all for that building to fall just because a plane ran into it. It makes absolute sense to me. I don't have to be a structural engineer. It's like, I believe exactly what they're telling us. There's no conspiracy here.
I'm surprised it lasted as long as they both did, to be honest.
Right.
All of that going on.
Right. It's like, oh, that couldn't happen. A plane couldn't take a building down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking earlier about George Knapp, who I also like because, I've mostly heard from him. I'm weaning more and more away from like his, he's the person, of course, that brought us Bob Lazar and all that. I don't know about John. I don't know about Bob Lazar, but
Bob who?
Bob who
is
Bob Lazar.
What I'm really upset about now is he's now on that same train with Jeremy. What's his name there? That other guy.
Oh, Jeremy Corbell and what's his name?
I really dislike Corbell. Yeah, he's. I hate that they're interconnected. It's like, oh man, I really like George. What are you doing? Get away from this weirdo. Is all I get is Ringling Brothers.
They're out to weaponize. They're out to weaponize. You see all that crap on there? This is almost turning into a truth seeker show.
It really is.
Well, this is turning into a hate coast to coast show, isn't it? Was there anything we like about coast to coast now?
I'm actually, I was talking to Stephen about being a guest on my show, and he was saying that maybe sometime in April, he may have more time. So he doesn't normally do guest appearances, but he says, maybe in April, I'd love to have him on. His laugh alone is great. That laughter oh my God.
I've thought about, I've been doing this now for a little bit and thinking, okay, JoJo, it's time you take some chances, some higher, some people who are known to try to get them on your show. But, take some stones to do that, because you're going to, even if you get through to their producer's going to go, JoJo, who? What? What do you do?
Well, it's even like that for me, just on YouTube. When I started this show originally, it was just like this. But I don't think I had anybody. No, I didn't have anybody on panel. It was just other than me. It was just, like an open, sometimes there would be a topic, and other times not really a topic, but it would turn into one. And then I went on a hiatus for, well, over a year, and then I came back when I moved to the cabin where I was, and I was just doing this, right? It wasn't really like a guest show for my Sunday shows. I'd have you guys on, like Enzo was always on, usually, right? And then I started thinking, okay, well, maybe I should start having some guests on, not to like boost my subs or make money, just to kind of expand, right? And I mean, I had one guest on, and I mean, I've been talking to these paranormal investigators for like 5 years, right? But I was kind of nervous when he came on, and he was all fine, and I'm just kind of like, I had questions ready for him, couldn't find the sheet of paper. He's like, don't worry about it, But I want to start having like you, Jojo, like well-known people, like maybe not in the music industry, but just get people other channels on too, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I think it's like anything, you just gotta, and that goes for me too. I mean, you just gotta use your judgment and pick people who are kind of, a little above you, and you know what I mean. I mean, not that I'd want him, but George Norrie will probably not come on my show. That's not going to happen. I understand that.
Jeremy Corbell will never come on my show.
Yeah.
I would lose all my subs if I had that wackadoo on my show. I got that wackadoo word. Oh my God. It's all Cambion's fault.
It usually is. That's really the thing is he's usually not wrong. He has his research.
He's very smart, a very smart guy. And, there was a couple other ones that I used to watch. And, I found out that they're not who they said they were. And the more I watched, I just kind of, okay, these people are right. I'm out of here. And I don't even remember, how I started watching Truth Seekers. I think it was like a suggestion on the side somewhere on YouTube or something. But, from the first moment I watched that show, like I stayed for the whole show. Now I'm a moderator for the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. His masks, oh my God, when he gets on there with them. The last mask that he had on, I think the last one that he had on was, who was it? Wasn't Corey Good. That was the previous one. I don't, but oh my God, it was crazy. It was really crazy. Nikki is messaging me here.
Yeah, she has her own show tonight.
Okay.
Coming up here pretty soon. So
yeah, at 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock. Yeah. She's getting ready for hers. Who else just saw that? Okay. I'm glad I started that little group when I wanted to entice you guys to come on my show. And then Jojo started one and put me in it. And then he was posting stuff for his show in my group, and I just laughed. It was funny. It was fun. I don't care.
What I have a trouble keeping track of is everybody's showbiz name. And then some people change their show. Well, when I start getting onto it, they changed their name, their showbiz name. And then I just can't keep track of some things. So.
Well, there have been people that have known me in the paranormal community from YouTube and Facebook and everything like that.
Mhm.
They know I have a name, Sam, but
Mhm.
they'll see me on their channel or, on something like this. Oh, hey, Arden. So I'll answer the both, Sam or Arden. It's still me. Still.
Well, I like Enzo. Enzo
Yeah.
has one name, and it's always the same. He's
That's it.
he's
You gotta
bedrock.
keep
He's
it standing.
bedrock.
Gotta
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got it. He's got it down. And
I'm
also,
sure
he
I'll
has the
rocket,
best.
rocket right to the top with my fame and fortune, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, it's your backgrounds, is what I was going to say. I mean, that alone, people say, what
Yeah.
exotic land does he live in? He's always, I've heard all these rumors about him. I heard he's a multi-billionaire and he owns islands all over the world.
Yeah. Enzo's Millions.
Yeah.
I was going to stay on a little bit later than 5 o'clock, but then I remembered I've got a roast in the crock pot for all of us for supper tonight, and I still have to do the veggies.
It's perfect. I'm starving. I'll be right there.
Yeah. Send out this way.
Long walk to Canada, eh? No, we still got another 10 minutes. All good. Mhm. Yeah, we still got a few
cool.
more minutes left.
That's cool. So Enzo, you said you had a cat?
No.
I
Allergic
thought
to cats.
because I thought you had allergies to the
Yeah,
beast.
I'm allergic to cats and dogs. If I wasn't for that, I would have a house full of dogs. I'd never have a
Mhm.
cat.
I'm the
Yeah,
one
I
who
love
had a whole
dogs.
bunch of cats. I had lots of cats.
You're that's how they okay.
I was the cat lady, yes. Yeah, I had to unfortunately I had to find other homes for them when I moved here. In order for me to get out of the situation I was in at the cabin I was living at, she didn't mind cats here. No cats. It was hard because two of my cats were like 9 and 10 years old, right? And one of them had gone blind. But what happened was my friend Darlene, where I live here, she
Right.
knows this lady who runs a sanctuary. So 3 of my cats went to the sanctuary. 2 stayed there, and Stormy, the one who went blind, she ended up going to a foster home. But they're well looked after. Like, I mean, in the wintertime, she's got like a couple of wood stoves and different sheds and barns, and all the cats and the dogs will go in there. Like, she's got like a whole bunch. She's got pigs and horses, all kinds of stuff. So I know they're well looked after. It was just hard to let the 9 and 10-year-olds go. Those were my OG cats, right? Like mother and daughter. But sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do in order to get out of a situation you're in. I still have my dog though. I still got the dog. Dogs are like, I want to eventually get my own place. Right now, I'm fighting with disability. The package that I was supposed to get to fill out to send in, I never got it, and I got a letter from the disability board saying that it's past the time. Now I have to reapply again. Yes, because I was not sent the package, so I have to redo that. Because eventually I want to get my own place.
Right.
Like, I don't mind living with
I
people,
understand that.
but I mean, there comes a time in your life where, like, I just turned 57, so, like, I had my own place before I moved here. Well, kind of. I had the front part of a place, but
Right.
yeah. But I'm very comfortable here. Like, I couldn't be better off than where I am right now. I have the whole upstairs of the house, and it's known as my penthouse.
Well, I really caught the Canadian accent when you said house. Hoose.
House?
Hoose.
House?
Hoose.
House? A boot?
Hoose.
Miss Boot? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of, having to, liquidate your pets, I always used to hate.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of volunteering for the Austin Animal Shelter, and
Yeah, I
it,
was a
it
volunteer
was
for a place
awful.
in King Chelsea. Oh, I've seen good and bad, you know. And I
Well,
mean,
what?
I live 3 hours away from where I was volunteering,
Hmm.
and I'm on their Facebook group. Like I post their stuff all the time, like lost and found animals and everything. Like if there was a
Well,
place out here where I am now, I'd hardly ever be home.
yeah. What I was getting at was, when I was up there, and there would be a family, and very typically a mother with children, right? And they would be, everybody's crying because they had to get a new place,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't take animals, and they're having to turn their dog in, and they're crying, and it was a
Used
tearjerker,
to be like that with kids too.
And I understand you got to do what you got to do. I mean, if you can't find a
Yeah.
place that you can afford that'll take animals, you got,
Yeah.
you
Sometimes you
gotta.
have to,
Hmm.
like I didn't want to have to do that, like I mean, my one cat, Minnie, she was a stray. She showed up and she was like skin and bones. I didn't think she was going to make it, and I had her for 4 years. She had like 3 batches of kittens, and the last batch she had, a home was found for her, and they took the 4 kittens too. So it was a bonus all
Hmm.
around that way, right? But I could, even once I get my own place, I could never get another cat again. I couldn't do it. I would really feel like I was replacing my 9 and 10-year-old. I just couldn't do it.
Right.
And I
Well,
mean, it's not like I could
for
go back to the place and say, "Okay, I'm all good now. Can I have my cats back?" And she'd be like, "What?" So
what was really sad, is these families would be up there having to turn their animals in, and a lot of times it wasn't that the landlord didn't permit it; it's because like they had to come up with extra deposit money, right? And of course, she couldn't afford that, and
yeah,
oh man, I
if
hate
you have
that.
no animals, then you can afford the deposit. It's unfortunate, but
Right?
sometimes it is
Yeah,
what
there's
it
a lot of
is,
times
right?
they'll, yeah, you bring an animal along, a lot of times they'll, whatever, they'll double the deposit or
Yeah.
something. It can be a lot higher, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So that was always tough. That was always really tough. And almost every morning you get there, if you're going to volunteer in the morning, and there'd be an animal, tied up with a post or a fence right at the entry,
Hmm.
the doorway to the place, just because people wanted to
But at
turn their
least they're
animal in or
taking it
had
to
to.
a place where they know that it's going to be looked after.
Right. But, they just didn't
It's
want to have to
not
deal with the
right.
process. The process is
Yeah,
just
it's
too
not
heart
right. But at
wrenching,
least the animal's in a safe place. The animal's
Hmm.
in a safe place, right? At least they
Yeah.
were
Oh,
smart
yeah.
enough to do that.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
get me started off on the people who dump their animals out in the country.
Oh, don't
That
get me
is,
started either, man.
that's so.
There was a guy,
People are
there
so
was a
stupid to
dog
do that. There
out
are still
here.
people who believe that domesticated animals can live in the wild by themselves,
No,
and they
they
can't. They're
can't. They
domesticated.
can't.
They've lost that ability.
Mm.
They just
There
can't
was
do
a
it.
guy out here that dumped a dog, and this poor dog was out in February in the freezing cold, 2 weeks, survived the 2 weeks. They eventually caught the guy. Okay. I plastered his name and where he lived all over effing Facebook in a couple of groups that I'm in because people need to know that poor dog, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I get emotional just thinking about it because, like I said, I volunteered for a place where I lived at one time. And I mean, like I've gone to the point where, like I've gone through bushes and like almost fallen in lakes looking for mama cat's babies, and and I've dragged dogs out of fucking rivers and shit. Sorry, I don't normally swear on my live streams, but you know, it's just
Well, one thing that used to bug me
I've seen it all.
is like the Humane Society.
Mhm.
Well, don't I think it's good that
They're
they're
actually
trying
pretty
to.
good out here in Canada. In Ontario, where I am, people have this
Well,
misconception that all the humane societies euthanize animals. No, they don't. No, they don't.
well, that was exactly the point I was going to make. No, they don't. But you know what they do? If they can't place the animal after a certain amount of time, they take him to the to like a city pound.
Yeah, they transfer
Did you
them.
know that?
They get
Yeah, and then they get euthanized a lot of times.
Yeah, sometimes
And well, like not all the time, but probably if the Humane Society had a hard time placing them, they're a difficult animal to place. And that's the only thing that kind of gets me. It's like your city level place has to abide by the laws set up by their by your I don't know, your city government, right?
Mhm.
And
That's true.
you can't just beat up the people at those places who do euthanize animals, because at some point there's way more animals to be adopted than there are places.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere in the system, animals get euthanized, and I don't like it either. But
I agree
and
with you.
I would say people go in to the humane to the shelter here in Austin, and now it's no kill, but that doesn't mean they never kill.
Yeah.
That just means it's the last resort. And they have meetings, and before they put an animal down, they say, "Is there anything we can do for this animal? Is there a foster home they could go to for a while, or whatever?" They do really try, but sometimes you got to do it, and I hate that. But beating up the people who are volunteering and all that, that's what it's like. Come on, they're just volunteering. They're trying to help.
Yeah, they're just doing their job. They're doing what they're told to do. Exactly.
Well, yeah, they don't have any power.
I have to end this. I have to go finish.
Is that time? Okay, let's stop this bitch session.
Let's take JoJo out back and euthanize him now.
Well, at least there was a whole bunch of topics. I thought I was just going to be out here on my own today. Thank you very much to everybody, all of you, for saving my life.
Mm-hmm.
The other two people that normally save my life on a Sunday, they're in the process of making another documentary. So, yes, they are very busy.
They?
They are very busy, yes. So, but yes, thank you, everybody, today. Thank you, everyone in chat.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. No, I'm just little old me. I'm just little old me. Enzo's the guy. He's the man.
Jojo, Enzo you are says, more than welcome anytime. Anytime I have an open panel, yes, emergency guest mode engaged. I just call
Enzo actually says interesting things.
You gotta spin the conversation around where
there you go. Yeah,
it's one thing to just sit around and just shoot the shit. But that's usually not that interesting to everybody that would be watching. Yeah. So,
well, next time, next time, Enzo and I come on.
If I can't get a guest for next Sunday, it'll probably be another open panel. So I'll just throw the link out there in our little Facebook chat group thingy, and you guys are more than welcome.
Well, I'll talk about the history of calculators.
No.
What's that?
That's why I'm about to make a suggestion. If you do have like another open line things like that where your guest drops are, maybe have like a hip pocket topic or something to kind of lead the conversation instead of everybody just coming in and randomly talking about this or that. Just
It's
you know,
kind of
just
like
to
a
get
Sunday chop shop. It's kind of like a Sunday chop shop. I know the show is called Open Forum. Yeah, I get it.
right, but I mean, you
Yeah,
could have
yeah,
a couple of basic things to at least, you know, so we're not talking because you're going to cycle about the weather. You're going to talk about there's going to be pot talk in there somehow. There's going to be pet stocks in there. There's going to be whatever else was going
Yeah,
on
you
before
could
I showed up. So
you could do a show
Yeah.
on what butthead things did George Norrie say last week.
well, that means I'd have to listen to him. I'm not doing that.
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Listen to
That's
him.
true.
No,
You
I
know,
won't
the
do
bad
it.
thing is
Definitely
everybody
won't do something
gets
that.
into a good bitch session, and then we all afterwards go,
I
God,
won't
should
do
we
a
have been
show.
doing
I
that?
won't
That's
do
not
a show
good.
putting another channel down or another person down. No, that's just not me. I can't do that. I'll leave that to other people to do. Some of them do it very well.
Got
That's a good plan.
Yeah. So yeah. If it's just no guest and it's an open panel, maybe people could throw out a few topics in our little chat
There you
group
go.
or something, right? Including
Mhm.
me.
Hmm.
That sounds like a good idea. And so
You need to have a deck of cards, and when you have a good idea, you need index cards. Write it on the index card and just keep them around. Just shuffle it. You know. So,
Have the
this is what
wheel
we're
of
talking about.
topics.
That's right. There you
Hey,
go. Actually, that would be good,
I
wouldn't it?
Demons. We're talking about demons.
I could kind of do what Toddy Waba do for their Tuesday show. Or no, what is it? Their not their Tuesday show. They do another show where Bree puts
They
it
have
in
so
a
many
bowl
shows. I can't keep them.
and picks
They have a
one
lot
out.
of shows.
They're uninformed, where they have a
Uninformed.
random
Yeah.
topic. Yeah.
Yeah, she got the bowl. Bree's got the bowl with the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what uninformed is? I've seen those shows.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's-
it's
they-
funny. It's cool.
Okay.
Everyone
Yeah.
talks about.
They know nothing about any of it. They
Right.
just argue about stuff.
They're usually like flame war bait, kind of like almost political topics and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
It's all kinds
things
of
that
stuff.
half
in
the
this
people
mess.
believe in and half don't. So
Got it.
Okay, I
Right.
gotta go. I gotta
We
fly,
gotta go.
guys. Thank you very
Salute.
much, Jojo, Enzo.
Thank you
Nice
for
to see you
inviting
both
me.
again.
thanks for having us.
Anytime.
Thank you
Anytime.
very much.
Thank you,
All
Chad.
right.
We will see you next Sunday. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.